knowing this should not make us hopeless. It should actually empower us and help us see what is really wrong with the world we're living in right now and how can we fix it. Hello fam, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I am Wongel Zelalem, and today we are talking about debt. African versus US debt. In case you've been wondering how US has debt and still can survive, still is the most powerful nation in the world, yet Africa is suffering because of the same kind of debt, Michael Hudson, an American economist, has an explanation for you.
I have a question. What's the difference between the US debt and the debt that African nations own? Because the US debt doesn't keep the US from being one of the leading powers of the world, but then African nations can't make it because of that debt that is strangling them.
Should I talk? Okay. The first question is a very important question. What makes African and third world debt different from the American debt? Number one, America is never going to pay its debts. It doesn't have to. Its debts are in its own currency. We can simply print it. The African debt is not in its currency. The African debt is in US dollars. Africa has to earn the US dollars, and the only way it can earn the US dollars is not to be assassinated for growing its own food and becoming independent and doing something that the United States does not like. The principle underlying the foundation of the World Bank, the International Bank for IBRD, research, the World Bank, is that no country should grow its own food. Africa and the third world should only grow export crops. To export, in order to have an oversupply of cocoa and other tropical raw materials, to keep down the price, they must buy their grain from the United States or Europe, so that if they do something that we don't like, we can do what America tried to do to China in the 60s. We can sanction them. We can say, we're going to starve you. We're going to not export any grain to you. So owing their foreign debt in dollars means that they have to somehow sell something that the United States wants, not what they want. I think the most evil organizations in the world today are the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund.
The cruelty is unmatched, and this is the world we are currently living in. Unfortunately, this affects us tremendously. African countries are crippled with debt. It's not just the one kind of debt that you're thinking about. It comes in aid. It comes in helping humanitarian services that we are offered. We don't know what is behind it. The best book to read on that is Dead Aid, and it's explained very well how there are different kinds of debts and how it is affecting Africa and why it didn't work for Africa, but it worked for, let's say, Europe when they needed the help after the war. So I believe being aware of this helps us push back certain laws because we know what's really important. We know what really we need to focus on, right? Like the same way they make us buy using USD. Now we need to understand what we really need to do in order for us to be self-sufficient, to make sure that it doesn't happen to the next generation. We need to come up with a plan that will help us going forward. The past is in the past, but it's really important and necessary that we know what happened because history is important. It's going to help us navigate through life. What will happen in the future? You'll know, like if you know previously this thing doesn't work, you can change it. Like that's the importance of history and having a memory. We need to know all the things, the bad, the good, the evil. We need to know what happened so that we can make better decisions in the future. And I think knowing this should not make us hopeless. It should actually empower us and help us see what is really wrong with the world we're living in right now, and how can we fix it, how can we go around it. At least that's my takeaway. Anyways, fam, let me know down below what your thoughts are about this, and especially if you're an economist or you've studied economy, let us know from your perspective, from your profession, what your thoughts are. Like, what should African countries do to fix what has been done, this cruel law that has been put on us? Anyways, fam, let me know down below. I am Wongel Zelalem. I'll see you on the next one. Stay blessed. Bye.